The United States, the wealthiest nation on earth. A land of towering skyscrapers, luxury cars, and world-leading technology. But if you walk down the streets of Los Angeles, San Francisco, or New York, you'll see a startlingly different reality. Thousands of people living in tents, huddled on sidewalks, right in the heart of these glamorous cities. Why does such a rich country have so many people without a home? Does wealth always translate to well-being for all? Today, let's uncover the truth behind this paradox. The numbers are truly alarming. According to recent statistics, there are more than 650,000 people experiencing homelessness in the U.S. on any given night. That's like the entire population of a large city. In states like California, that number skyrockets to over 170,000 people, with many forced to live in their cars, in parks, or in makeshift tents on the sidewalks. What's even more concerning is that this number keeps climbing every year, even as America's economy booms and its GDP remains the highest in the world. The paradox couldn't be clearer. As the country gets richer, its most vulnerable seem to be left further and further behind. So, what's driving this crisis? The single biggest reason is the outrageous cost of housing. In major cities, the average rent for a small, one-bedroom apartment can easily hit $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Now, compare that to the minimum wage in many states, which might only bring in $1,500 to $2,000. The math just doesn't add up. People are forced to spend nearly all their income just to keep a roof over their heads, leaving little to nothing for food, healthcare, or transportation. For many, losing a job for just a few weeks can mean losing your home. And once you're on the street, getting back on your feet feels almost impossible. With a severe shortage of affordable housing and weak rental assistance programs, hundreds of thousands end up homeless right in the richest nation on earth. Another major cause, one that's often overlooked, is the dual crisis of mental health and addiction. Millions of Americans suffer from conditions like depression, PTSD, and substance use disorders. But getting help is another challenge. Mental health treatment is extremely expensive, and not everyone has health insurance that can cover the cost. Without proper treatment, many people lose their ability to work, their family support systems, and eventually, their homes. In Los Angeles alone, it's estimated that 30 to 40% of the homeless population struggles with a serious mental illness. Some turn to substances to cope with their pain, but this only traps them deeper in a heartbreaking cycle of homelessness. Although the U.S. is a global superpower, its social safety net is far weaker than in many other developed countries, especially in Europe. In nations like Sweden, Norway, or Denmark, systems are in place to ensure that if you become unemployed, you still have access to housing, healthcare, and basic living support. But in America, the situation is often different. If you lose your job, you'll frequently lose your health insurance too. No income means you can't pay rent. And without a fixed address, it becomes incredibly difficult to apply for and secure another job. It's a vicious cycle of poverty that traps people on the streets. While programs to help do exist, they are often slow, chronically underfunded, and difficult to navigate. At its core, this issue is also about inequality and social imbalance. The United States has one of the largest wealth gaps in the developed world. The richest 1% of the population owns over 30% of the nation's total wealth. Meanwhile, many working-class families struggle just to survive, paycheck to paycheck. In a hyper-capitalist economy, there is often limited government intervention in markets like housing and healthcare, leading to skyrocketing prices. The result is a society where the rich get richer and the poor fall further behind. Once someone hits rock bottom, climbing back up becomes an almost insurmountable challenge. Homelessness, therefore, isn't just a series of individual misfortunes, it's a symptom of a deep-seated social imbalance in modern America. This crisis doesn't just affect individuals, it impacts society as a whole. Widespread homelessness can contribute to rising crime rates, public sanitation challenges, and significant public health risk. It also tarnishes the nation's image on the global stage. Many cities spend billions of dollars clearing tent encampments, only to see them reappear just months later, because the root causes haven't been addressed. It's a temporary fix for a permanent problem. Behind every tent lies a heartbreaking story, a story of someone who once had a job, a family, and a dream. So what's the path forward? The U.S. government has made efforts, including building more affordable housing, expanding aid programs, and working to improve access to mental health services. But the real root of the problem lies in a system that often seems to value profit over people. The lesson for the entire world is that economic development must go hand in hand with social justice. We cannot afford to leave anyone behind. A truly strong nation isn't just measured by its wealth, but by how it cares for its most vulnerable citizens, ensuring that everyone has a safe place to call home. Thank you for watching. If you found this video meaningful, please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to explore more stories about our fascinating and complex world.